My name is Danny Hagan. I'm an associate marriage and family therapist, and through BACR I work at San Marin High School as a school-based therapist, providing mental health treatment for the students here on campus. We serve mostly students who don't have access to mental health care outside of school, so we can talk about academic stress, depression, anxiety, family issues, difficulties in social relationships, substance use, sexual relationships, all sorts of stuff. A lot of kids have all sorts of things they're balancing, not just their school day, but then a lot of them are involved in extracurricular activities, or maybe have family commitments, friend commitments, relationship commitments. A lot of things that take up time and energy in their day, and they aren't left with a lot of time for themselves. I try to encourage them to find little ways to carve that out throughout their day. It's pretty incredible, and it's an honor what they trust us with here at school. I think about this generation of high schoolers and when they experienced the pandemic. Like a kid who's a freshman in high school now is in 5th grade when COVID started, and just how much that impacted their social and emotional development, and that compounded with just all the difficulties of being a high schooler in general. It's a really unique time in your life, and a lot of it can be really confusing to navigate, or you might have big feelings about what you're navigating. And I think just having a space to talk about that with someone who isn't here to judge you, doesn't have a biased opinion on these topics, can be really helpful. I think the work we do is important because it helps people remember that they're not alone. It gives them a safe and non-judgmental space to discuss whatever it may be that they're going through in their lives at that time. It gives them someone who will listen and not have bias toward their situation. It's not always just, reflecting back what you think the person wants to hear, or validating every single thing they say. Sometimes it's holding up the mirror and reflecting back to them what isn't working, and challenging them on certain things. I would say good therapy is actually really hard. Yeah, I think it's an incredible gift to share that with someone. It makes it so that someone else is witnessing your struggle with it. You're not holding on to that on your own. I've noticed certain students I've worked with over the years may encounter a problem, whether it's depression or anxiety, and they feel like they don't want to burden important people in their life with that issue. And once they finally talk to someone about it, whether it's myself or someone in their personal life, they actually feel this sense of relief that they're no longer holding on to this by themselves. It really helps to have a team around you supporting you when you're going through a problem. And that doesn't always have to be having a conversation with someone else. Sometimes there are other ways to express that, whether it's through journaling or different forms of creative expression, visual art, music. Also just finding the little things that fill your cup throughout the day, like whether that's exercise, getting some fresh air, spending time with loved ones, cooking a meal. For me, I like to play chess on my phone. There are all sorts of ways to get that out of your system, but I don't recommend just hanging on to it. It's a really scary job to start at first. I remember starting during the pandemic, and my first clients were on Zoom, and I remember being in that waiting room and seeing that my first client had entered, and I knew that with the click of a button, next thing I knew, I'd be face to face with my first client, and it's like, wow, I'm providing mental health treatment for this person. It's pretty intense when you've never done it before. So I just feel like there's been such great support and supervision with BACR. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone I've had as a supervisor at BACR. That includes Karen Grove, Diana Wilson, Bonnie Kaufman, Bethany Van Dyke. Your expertise in this field, your perspective, your patience, it's been really appreciated and has really contributed to my growth and development as a therapist. I also want to thank all my coworkers and colleagues whose insights in group supervision, whose availability to chat outside of a work setting, oftentimes it's just been really helpful in contributing to the environment of support. And yeah, it's just been a real honor and a privilege to work for this agency. And I have a lot of gratitude for you all, so thank you.